Bazooka bubblegum has always been known for its supreme bubble-making abilities, but in 1953, kids began getting a bonus with their bubbles. Along with a chunk of gum, each pack included the illustrated adventures of an eye-patched wisecracker named Bazooka Joe.
He's got a quick joke and a great wit and is that lovable character that was in everybody's neighborhood.
He goes through life with a wink and a smile and a great piece of bubblegum in his mouth.
There's nothing like him. He's a piece of Americana.
These days, this every dude and his gang are still around. Americans chew through 500 million pieces of Bazooka yearly. And every single piece still features Joe and his comical observations on life.
You know, there's a little bit of a groan to it when you open them up and you read it, you get that punchline, and it's part of the charm of the character and it's part of the charm of Bazooka.
But after 53 years of chuckles, the punchlines needed some new pop. To bring Bazooka Joe up to date, the team at Mata Design gave him a hip hairdo, a new crew, and some updated duds.
Of course, he still has his eye patch, but now he may have a cell phone or an iPod or something like that. Whereas back in the old days, he might have had a slingshot.
And to go along with his new looks, Bazooka Joe needs some new Bazooka jokes. And that's where the writers come in.
Bazooka Joe, he's right by a barbecue, and he's getting ready to cook, but he can't find his hot dogs. He says, "Where are the hot dogs?" And then we have Jake running with a string of hot dogs coming out of his mouth, and he says, "It's a dog-eat-dog world, kid."
The writers embrace some of the things we love and hate about modern life and put a funny twist on them.
I made a list of popular reality shows, and then the name American Idol, the word idol just lent itself to a gag because Mort came to mind, idol, I-D-L-E. So because Mort is a big slacker, it just seemed like a natural gag.
While brainstorming jokes, the writers sketch together their ideas and send the rough strip to a team of illustrators.
Hey Corey, we got the latest gag for Bazooka Joe. They're breaking it off into 2 panels. One of the stuff what we do is brainstorm what is popular, what is cool, what is it that they would like to actually see in the comic.
After the artists at Mata put together a pencil sketch of the comic, it's scanned into a computer for the next step called digital inking.
The comics are all printed as blue, so we use shades of blues to help change the patterns of clothing and pants. And then from there we also add all the text.
So this modern, ready-to-go Joe is set to be something new generations can chew on and laugh with for another 50 years.
It's no longer their mom's bubblegum or their dad's bubblegum. Now it's their bubblegum.
This sweet's synonymous with the good life. In fact, it's all in the name.
The word bonbon comes from French, from the French word for good, bon, and doubling it just meant very good or double good. And in French, bonbon still just means candy. But in Britain and America, bonbon has come to be any filled piece of candy.
And at Peerless Confection Company in Chicago, Illinois, hundreds of thousands of strawberry bonbons are ripe for the picking every day. It all starts with a mixture of sugar and corn syrup that's cooked at 300 degrees, producing a clear candy syrup. At this point, it's important for cooked confections to have a moisture content of about 1%, so that candy pieces won't be sticky. Next, color and flavor give this sweet its strawberry appeal. And a little goes a long way.
In our 150-pound batch, we put approximately 4 ounces of coloring and 4 ounces of the strawberry flavoring in our candy.
And because it's a tart candy, citric acid pumps up the flavor even more. Once it's mixed to its very best, it's time to temper this treat, which will give the candy the correct texture. First, molten candies cool down to 170 degrees on a special table, which is chilled by circulating cold water beneath its surface. And it takes an expert touch to make it turn out just right.
Candy that's not handled properly can come out too dark, can come out with the wrong texture. So they need to know exactly when it's ready to be pulled, when it's ready to be formed.
Since these are bonbons, by definition, they need their filling. In this case, a creamy center.
And the creamy filling gives it that extra little zip like strawberries and cream.
While batch rollers turn the lumpy hard candy into thinner, workable ropes, a pipe pumps filling right into the middle.
The makeup of our bonbon is approximately 85% hard candy and 15% filling.
Then, to give them their famous figure, a die cuts up the strawberry-filled candy into bite-sized bits. Hidden inside each die cutter, tiny molds with strawberry detail stamp out both sides of every piece. And candy makers check to make sure each batch comes out with its bonbonified candy center. Since these pieces are still hot under the collar, they ride through a field of air blowers to cool off.
The candy needs to be cooled for the basic reason that it comes out in a very soft state. And obviously we need to get it into a harder state so that we can get it ready for the wrapping process.
Next, a wrapping machine dresses them up at a rate of 400 pieces every minute.
The wrapper for a strawberry bonbon is known as a sachet wrap because it looks like a little bag that the candy is in.
Although hard candy bonbons come in a variety of flavors like orange, lime, lemon, and grape, strawberry takes the cake.
The strawberry bonbon is the most traditional of the hard candy bonbons because the wrap looked most like a strawberry.
This is the story of a comeback candy called a Slowpoke.
It took a long time to eat. You could always, it was going to last almost all day if you wanted to.
The caramel treat was first made by the Holloway Candy Company of Chicago, Illinois in 1926. And over the next 50 years, the rights to the candy changed hands many times before production shut down.
You're talking about 30 years ago, just having it, when I was a child, and then all of a sudden it was gone.
Those childhood memories prompted the Georgia Nut Company in Skokie, Illinois, to purchase the Slowpoke brand in 2004.
It was right at that time when the whole nostalgia thing was starting to come alive.
At the same time, they also acquired the Taffy Candies, BB Bats, and Kits, 80-year-old classics sold mostly on the East Coast.
With the Kits and BB Bats, that was started with by a company, Fair Play Candy, in 1924. And we actually have the formula book dated back to 1927.
That made the process of manufacturing this taffy easy. But trying to recreate the Slowpoke was more of a trick than a treat.
We don't have samples that existed from the 1970s that we can say, here's what we're trying to do. So a lot of it is how we remember it.
It took almost 6 months and 15,000 pounds of test caramel before they found the right mix in 2004.
We did a lot of sampling. We cooked several batches, different variations, and tested the hardness.
Today, the company is making 200 million Slowpoke suckers every year. It's a process starting with lots of corn syrup, almost 450 pounds worth. Sugar, water, condensed milk, and salt add in, and the 800-pound batch cooks for about 25 minutes until it reaches around 250 degrees Fahrenheit.
It has to have a certain amount of cook time in the kettle in order to develop the color.
Then one more special ingredient adds in, giving the Slowpoke its memorable caramel taste.
We add a flavor near the end of our Slowpoke cooking process to give it a little bit of a unique flavor that people recognize as being the Slowpoke caramel.
After cooking, boiling brew pipes onto a cooling wheel, immediately chilling the caramel. It then packs in tubs and is sent to cure in a 110-degree Fahrenheit heated room.
When it has a chance to sit in the tray overnight, it hardens up some of the stickiness goes away.
After 24 hours, caramel dumps into a forming machine for the rest of the process.
The batch former's got a series of metal cones that spin around the piece of candy and form it into a cone.
The caramel is shaped into a rope that snakes its way into a finished Slowpoke.
The cut and wrap reforms the rope to a rectangle instead of a circle, and then it's cut and run through our wrapping and inserted the stick.
Old fans of the sticky sweet can enjoy the original Slowpoke sucker and the bite-sized version as well. And that goes for the candy's new fans, too.
To be part of its revival today and to see it on the shelves again is definitely something special.
what has dropped the jaws of all these people? It's a pop culture phenomenon that's swept the country for 30 years.
Pop Rocks is the original popping candy. It's been around for 30 years.
As a child of the 70s, it was the best candy out there because you toss it in your mouth, make all these noises, and just tasted really good. I haven't had this flavor yet.
My friends and I used to swallow the Pop Rocks whole and then take turns listening to each other's stomach. Can you hear them? Yes.
Like a lot of great innovations, the creation of Pop Rocks was actually an accident.
In 1956, a general food chemist was actually trying to develop an instant soda pop. And he was doing this by putting carbon dioxide into a hard candy tablet.
The instant soda fizzled out, but in the mid-1970s, the carbon dioxide-filled candy hit retail shelves with a bang. The craze was so big that rumors started popping up.
It's the cookin Pop Rocks. I mean, it's the oldest myth of time.
If you eat Pop Rocks and then immediately take a swig of Coke, your stomach explodes.
I'm pretty sure if it was going to explode, it probably would have happened when I swallowed them whole.
Whoa.
I can still feel them popping in my throat.
I'm okay.
Wow. What a rush. Wow.
I'm going to have some more.
Certainly this was one of the best urban legends ever and is truly false.
Even though the rumors weren't true, some say they caused General Foods to give up the production of Pop Rocks in the 80s. Today, Pop Rocks are made by Seta Espacial S.A. at their factory in Spain. But what makes them pop?
I've still been trying to figure that out, to be honest.
Well, we got scientist Steve Spangler to help answer that decades-old question.
Let's take a look at the science behind Pop Rocks. They're actually melted sugar, and when they melt the sugar, they pump carbon dioxide into that sugar, and then when the whole process cools and shatters, then you get these Pop Rocks that you see here. They're actually pieces of candy with carbon dioxide trapped inside. So what happens in your mouth is that the saliva dissolves the candy and releases the carbon dioxide gas that was put in there at the factory.
So it's just carbon dioxide escaping the candy. Then what about the urban legend?
All right, maybe you could eat that many of them. Okay, that's perfect. So there's the Pop Rocks, all right? Now we have to fill the flask over here with the soda. So now what we have to do is somehow combine the two and then try to trap the gas. And of course the balloon would be like your stomach and it just blow up. So let's see if that's true. Here we go. So now we just dump it inside. That's a pretty good burp, but that's no stomach blowing up.
The balloon, aka your stomach, barely fills up. That's because only the small amount of carbon dioxide from the soda and the candy is released into it.
7 or 8 packets of Pop Rocks. It has the same amount of CO2 carbon dioxide that would be in 1 can of soda pop.
3 decades and 1 explosive urban legend later, Pop Rocks is still giving kicks.
We can make up to 1 million packets of Pop Rocks in any given day.
All the classic flavors like strawberry and watermelon are still around, but the folks at Pop Rocks are not afraid to try new things.
In years past, we actually did a cheese-flavored Pop Rocks.
Cracker Jack may be the ultimate stadium snack, but we all know that the prize inside is irresistible to everyone.
I got a thing you put on your pencil that has a bunch of ants.
And it has been for decades.
Lip smacking, whip cracking, patty whacking, ink and knacking, silver racking, scallow whacking, cracker jacking, Cracker Jack.
Cracker Jack's been around for about 110 years. It started in 1893 by a gentleman by the name of F.W. Ruckheim.
He wowed the crowd with Cracker Jack at the Chicago World's Fair.
It was a hit, and a few years later, his brother Louis perfected the recipe, which is the same recipe we use today.
In the Cracker Jack factory in Grand Rapids, Michigan, it all starts with this silo. packed with almost 100,000 pounds of popcorn kernels.
Each day, 10 tons of popcorn is popped, and thousands of pounds of caramel and 13,000 pounds of peanuts are used every day to make Cracker Jack.
The popcorn is air popped at 450 degrees Fahrenheit before it pours into the coating machine.
We use a very special kind of popcorn so it pops out fully, kind of like a mushroom, so that caramel can get coated around each kernel completely.
Sugar, corn syrup, and molasses make up the famous Cracker Jack coating. But how about that famous Cracker Jack name? Where did that come from?
Cracker Jack got its name when it was shown to a salesman, and he exclaimed, "That's a Cracker Jack. That's a winner."
After getting its caramel coating, that Cracker Jack travels up to the cooling room. Here, a breaker drum tosses the popcorn to keep it from sticking together. Then, a cooling conveyor sends the Cracker Jack on to its next stop, the hopper, where the popcorn meets the peanuts.
It's candy-coated popcorn, peanuts, and a prize. That's Cracker Jack.
So, about that prize.
It was about 1912 that prizes were added to the product.
And die-hard Cracker Jack fans get a kick out of collecting them. Many of the most precious prizes date back to Cracker Jack's connection to America's favorite pastime.
Take me out to the ball game, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. That's how Cracker Jack was immortalized. And Cracker Jack is sold today in every Major League Baseball stadium and many minor league baseball stadiums. In 1915, there was a series of baseball cards that were included in the packages of Cracker Jack. Those cards recently sold for about $800,000. So they're very collectible and, to some people, worth a lot of money.
Today, the prizes are made of paper, hidden in boxes and bags. But Cracker Jack is still a classic snack.
If we could put all the packages of Cracker Jacks end to end that had been sold throughout its history, they would circle the globe 69 times. Lots of Cracker Jack.
Everyone should eat it.
Looks like they do.
There are very few foods out there that wiggle the way that Jell-O does.
For many people, Jell-O means colorful memories.
If you know how to boil water, you can make Jell-O.
And it seems the sweet stuff is popular all over the place.
If you took all the Jell-O brand boxes that were produced in 1 year and laid them end to end, they would stretch almost halfway around the world. That is a lot of Jell-O.
Of course, some eat more than others.
People in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, San Francisco, California, and Minneapolis, Minnesota eat the most gelatin per capita.
And one state in particular takes its Jell-O obsession seriously.
Utah is a very big fan of Jell-O. In fact, the governor of Utah named Jell-O the official state snack. Every year they celebrate Jell-O Week.
It makes sense when you realize this wobbly treat has been around for more than 100 years. It all started in 1897 when a gentleman named Pearl Waite from New York State started making fruit-flavored gelatin. But Jell-O didn't take off until he sold the business to his neighbor, Orator Woodward, who started marketing the Jiggly Gel.
Orator Woodward decided to place an advertisement for Jell-O in Ladies' Home Journal, and that first appeared in 1902. The ad pronounced Jell-O America's favorite dessert.
At 10 cents a box, Jell-O quickly made its way into the American culture and was even served to immigrants as they passed through Ellis Island. It wasn't long after that, Jell-O began offering its well-known Jell-O mold.
And they've been popular ever since.
Back in the 60s, folks liked to do savory molds where they would add shredded carrot, zucchini, a little bit more savory. We even had products back in the 60s that we had tomato flavored gelatin, we had celery, we had Italian. So things have evolved and changed over time.
I think what really revolutionized the Jell-O molds were the introduction of Jell-O jigglers in 1990.
Today, Jell-O molds are still popular.
We're coming up with new Jell-O molds all the time.
Jell-O is also always coming up with new flavors. Today there are 28 to choose from, and guess which one is the best seller?
Strawberry has been the most popular flavor for many, many years, at least as far back as our data can go.
This is our melon bubblers, and it features our new melon fusion gelatin, which is a mixture of honeydew, watermelon, and cantaloupe.
Today, Jell-O's freshest flavors are a little more sophisticated, like melon, blackberry, and tropical fusion.
There's a lot that goes into developing what's the next new flavor for Jell-O gelatin. We add in some melon balls. We've got honeydew, watermelon, and cantaloupe.
We are always trying to come up with new Jell-O flavors and stay in touch with consumers' lifestyles and trends that are out there in the marketplace.
We actually have culinary resources across the globe that monitor and track food trends. We look at the hottest culinary trends going on out there to come up with what's the next new flavor.
So it's no longer your grandmother's Jell-O mold, but something that you'd be happy serving your friends and family today.
We're gonna then top it with our foamy gelatin, which is actually Jell-O that we've actually whipped with an electric mixer to give it that nice frothy kind of look.
The result is a toast to the latest trend in flavor with a tip of the hat to the past.
I think Jell-O has been a household name for so many years because it reminds people of their childhood, and it just brings you back to a nice warm place.
Do you know which soda was introduced to Americans 1 year before Coca-Cola?
Dr. Pepper is the oldest major soft drink in America. It actually started in 1885.
In those days, drugstores and soda fountains went hand in hand. Pharmacists used flavored syrups to mask the taste of their tonics and bitter drugs. But one drugstore worker in Waco, Texas, experimented with flavors and struck a chord with the townspeople.
Charles Alderton, who worked in Morrison's Old Corner drugstore, and he decided he would mix up something new and different using all the different flavors that he had there. He mixed it up, people really liked it, and they just started selling it.
But who is Dr. Pepper?
The story of the name is that Morrison, who owned the pharmacy and really decided what they would name this product, knew a man by the name of Dr. Pepper back east. And Morrison was actually interested in marrying this Dr. Pepper's daughter, and to impress him, he thought he would name Dr. Pepper after this Dr. Pepper.
Proposing to Dr. Pepper's daughter was a flop, but Dr. Pepper the soda was a hit.
Charles Alderton, he created it with 23 flavors, and we make it with those same 23 flavors today to create that same taste experience.
Believe it or not, those 23 flavors are under wraps. The recipe is kept in a vault in Dallas, Texas. Very few people know the actual ingredients, but fans think they have it figured out.
Amaretto.
Maybe some cherry?
But Dr. Pepper will tell you what is not one of the ingredients.
Prune juice is not one of the 23 flavors.
Get this, you can still drink this tasty tonic out of the bottle. The original bottling plant is still filling them up in Dublin, Texas. Everything here is done the old-fashioned way, which isn't always easy.
This machine is from the 1930s. She's a temperamental old girl. If she's in a good mood, then we could bottle for 5 or 6 hours and put out several hundred drinks. And some days, she's done by lunch.
Just a few hours away at the Irving, Texas plant, Dr. Pepper flows into cans instead of bottles.
The Dublin facility that you saw produces about 1,000 bottles in one day. To give you a sense, here at the Irving plant, we produce 1,000 bottles in 40 seconds.
They start by blending the concentrated syrup with water that's 35 degrees Fahrenheit.
Dr. Pepper syrup and treated water are proportioned together at a 5-to-1 ratio. 5 parts treated water to 1 part syrup.
Then they inject CO2 to give the soda some pop. After carbonating the mix, they pump it to the filler.
We are filling cans at a rate of 1,500 cans per minute. In a given day, we can produce 1.4 million cans of Dr. Pepper. Once the cans are filled, they convey to a seamer, which applies a pop-top closure. From that point, they head to our secondary packaging.
They ship around the world so anyone can sip some American history in a can or a bottle.
That's what the doctor ordered.
Peanuts are peanuts, but add a shiny red shell, and the simple snack is transformed into a classic American candy. Boston baked beans have been gobbled up for generations, and everyone seems to have their own technique for popping these sweet, crunchy peanuts.
Handfuls at a time.
I like to eat them one at a time. I think you can really enjoy the flavor of each bean.
No one is quite sure who came up with the idea of candy-coated peanuts, but they've been around for almost as long as America itself.
It is named after Beantown, which is Boston, and it is a confectionery takeoff on a famous traditional dish that hails from Boston, which is also called Boston baked beans. And it's a Native American dish, and it's beans cooked in maple syrup.
Sconza Candy has been making their bean heads since the 1950s.
My grandfather bought copper pans similar to the pans that we use today and began making, actually black Boston beans were the first beans he made, and he later branched out and added red Boston beans to the line.
The old-fashioned treat is made much the same way it has always been. The main ingredient, Spanish peanuts. This variety is just the right size for Boston baked beans. After sorting out any debris, the peanuts are roasted in a process borrowed from another industry.
We roast them in old coffee-type roasters. They're fire roasted.
After 20 minutes tossing in the flames, these nuts are taken for another ride where they'll put on their sugary shell.
Those big cement mixer-type machines are called pans. They're called coating pans. What we do is we take the product, we load them into the pans, and then we add our vanilla syrup, and then we go through a process that we call engrossing.
Red sugar syrup is cooked up and scooped in. Plain sugar is added between the liquid layers. As the nuts toss, the familiar shell begins to build.
Basically, we're making 5 layers of product.
It takes an experienced eye to make Boston baked beans.
The building part is still a part of the process that requires as much art as it does science to get the product just so. The candy maker has to watch the product. He has to confirm that the sugar is marrying to the syrup the way it's supposed to.
Once the beans have grown enough, they are tossed with powdered sugar so they won't stick together. Then the white beans are cured for a day to allow their new shells to harden. After a final polish, these bean heads are ready for their bags. Making Boston baked beans is an amazing process most people have never seen.
They seem to have these ideas that the products are stamped or pressed, and they're always surprised about how we get the sugar onto the nut and get the flavor into the sugar, and how we grow this product into a beautiful finished piece of candy.
Classic candy making for a candy classic.
A lot of candy products today have a lot of bells and whistles, and I think part of the appeal and the staying power of the Boston bean is that it's such a simple product. It's nothing fancy, it's simple and delicious.